your mat. So in my world, just so you know, all I'm seeing is myself, and this is bizarre. I have never recorded myself. I've never seen myself, so it's like, oh, does my hair look okay? I think so. So just welcome. Just acknowledge yourself for coming to your practice this morning. As we do here at the studio on Sunday mornings, we claim this space as sacred. The space within and the space all around us. And so as you have yourself seated on your props or on your mat, I invite you to close down your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. And we eliminate one of the senses so that we turn away from the superficial world to the world within us, which through this practice we begin to know more and more is the real world, the world within. And allowing yourself some deep and centering, cleansing breaths where you take a slow inhale through the nose, not rushing, and then with an audible sigh, exhaling. So we'll do a few cycles of that. I'm going to join you. Feeling the belly expand, the rib cage expand, drawing your breath up to your heart. And if there's any heaviness, worry, or anxiety, just exhale that out and let yourself root down and land in the generosity of this moment. Oh, thank you. And a few more. For a moment, I wish we were unmuted so we could hear. You know, I love a noisy class. I love hearing the breath. And one more time, inhale, feel the belly expand, feel the rib cage expand, draw the breath up to that beautiful, glorious, eternal heart of yours, and exhale. And drawing the hands together in Anjali Mudra, this gesture of reverence and gratitude. I'll admit my little heart is racing a little bit. And just notice what's going on with your heart in this moment. And just allowing yourself to land and fully arrive, and just know that you are connected with so many beings as we practice this morning. And checking in with yourself, what is your intent for your practice this morning? How is it that you would like to feel when you are complete with your time on the mat this morning? And even though we're virtual, what are you bringing to this virtual party this morning? As I said last week, gosh, doesn't that seem like a long time ago? So in these times, we have a choice. We have a choice to be open to love and gratitude, or we can be in fear and anxiety. And I know for many of us, it's probably a dance between those two and a bunch of things in between. But at least for this time together, this practice, can we come to love? Can we come to gratitude? Can we just come to a moment or two of ease and kindness towards ourselves, knowing that indeed we are doing our best? So I'm going to read something to you, and I'm going to invite you to just keep your eyes closed. If you need to adjust, if you're uncomfortable in what you're seated And please make adjustments. That's true throughout our practice today. If anything that I guide you into doesn't resonate, please, this is your practice. Nobody's watching except you. So please listen. It's a great time. Oh, it's such a good time to practice. Okay, so here's a conversation. It's going to be an edge pusher, but most of y'all love me for that. So this is from a rabbi, and Rabbi Morse was asked this question. This coronavirus thing has really thrown me. I feel like I've lost all sense of certainty. No one knows what will happen next. How do we stay sane when we don't know what's lurking around the corner? Can any of us relate to this? Here is his response. It's not that we have lost our sense of certainty. We've lost our illusion of certainty. We never had it to begin with. This could be extremely unsettling or amazingly liberating. This tiny virus of 125 nanometers has sent the entire world into chaos. A nanometer is 1/billionth of a meter. All of our plans are up in the air. Markets are going crazy. Entire countries are shutting down, and we have no clue what the future holds. But that is always the case. We never know what the future holds. We only think we do. And we keep getting surprised when things don't turn out the way we expected. Now the mask is off. We have to admit our vulnerability. What will happen next? We don't know. Our experts don't know. Our leaders don't know. Only God knows. If you have a problem with the word God, insert something else. And that is the point. Only God knows. Only life knows. Only infinite intelligence knows. Close your eyes and feel the uncertainty and make peace with it. Let yourself be taken by it. Embrace your cluelessness. Because in all the confusion, there is one thing you know for sure. You are in God's hands. Keep calm. Panic and fear are also contagious. Take every precaution as advised by health authorities. Wash your hands well. And every time you do, remember whose hands you're in. So I just feel my heart so full in that knowing, so full to be here with you this morning. And may your practice reveal that truth that lies within you, that stillness, that rootedness, and that love that is your true nature. So let's extend these lovely limbs that may be a little bit objecting to all of that seated. Hands come back behind you, fingertips point towards the buttocks. We get a nice stretch through the palms. Take the legs a little bit wider and let the legs rock side to side. And let that movement make its way all the way up into the hips, all the way. And pause. We'll bend the knees, take the feet out to the edges of the mat, and just slowly and gently we begin to let the knees rock side to side, just feeling all of the sensations and making room for all of it. We say that in yoga, to make room for what arises, your cluelessness, the uncertainty, the sensations. And right there in the midst of all of this is that breath, that beloved breath, your connection, knowing that all is well. One more time, each side. And then we'll bring the soles of the feet together. Let your legs be in a diamond shape and sit yourself up nice and straight. Hold on to the shins or the ankles, and we'll drop the chin down towards the chest. Spine is nice and long, and then we find your left ear dropping towards your left shoulder. Chin down towards the chest. Let your right ear drop towards your right shoulder. Just breathe into the sensations, the stiffness, the tension, and let it out. And then slowly begin to make gentle circles with the head, just lengthening the cervical spine this morning. You may hear sounds of release and crunching. And then let your head go in the opposite direction. Maintaining a long spine if that's available to you this morning. And then we inhale nice and long and exhale, curved spine, soft spine. Let the crown of the head drop down towards the floor. Any kind of micro movements that want to arise, allow those to move through you. Any spontaneity. You have lots of freedom of space now to move. You're not in class, so you're in your own space. And then we'll come up with a long spine. Hold on to the ankles or the shins, chin lifts. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, chin to the chest. Inhale, heart comes forward, lengthening up out of the belly button. Exhale, scoop, reaching the belly button back. 2 more times. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale, hold on. 1 more time. And then we'll bring ourselves back upright, knees come together, a cheek at a time. We walk forward up to the top of the mat, making sure there's nothing on your mat. Let your arms extend parallel to the floor. Tuck your tailbone, and with really, really good coordinated control, we begin to lay ourselves down. Nice control, beautiful. Bring yourself all the way down, and once you land, let the knees come up to the chest. Hands come to the front of the knees, lengthen the tailbone back down towards the mat. See if you can gently drop the chin down towards the chest, lengthening through the back of the neck, and then let your head drop to the right. And breathe into the left side of the neck, that lengthening. See if you can tuck your shoulder blades back up under the back body. Feel yourself broad and open through the chest and heart. Inhale the head to center, exhale the head to the left. Breathing into the right side of the neck. Oh, I miss hearing your breath. 1 more time. And release. Feet are going to come down to the floor. Feet are a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Imagine maybe your fingertips could graze the back of your heels. So I want you to feel the tailbone tilting up towards the ceiling. So your low back is really rooted and planted. Find length through the cervical spine, the neck. Palms can gently rest to the floor, and we inhale, take the pelvis slowly lifting it up towards the ceiling, peeling the spine off the mat. Exhale, slowly tuck it back down to the floor. Inhale, low back presses, and it's like you're peeling the spine off the mat, lifting the front body towards the ceiling. Exhale, lay the pelvis back down. A few more times. Inhale, see if you can avoid moving through the thighs. Keep your feet rooted and planted. 2 more times. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale, down. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. And draw the knees back up towards the chest, hands on each knee, big individual circles. Awakening the hips this morning. You need to lubricate the ball and socket joint of the hips. And just stay inside and be present to what is going on. What are you aware of? How are your hips this morning? Are your knees? Where and how is your breath going the other direction? One more time around. And then we come back to center. Let your knees open wide. Arms slide to the inside of the legs. Hands come over the tops of the ankles, over the tops of the feet to the outer edges of the feet. Now, if you're not able to reach the top edges of your feet, you can certainly hold on to your ankles. But I invite you to, with the heels dropping down towards the buttocks, see if you can have your knees be nice and wide, but create some resistance. So hands press into feet and feet press into hands. Stay long through the back of the neck. And can you be present to your belly expanding with breath? And can you be present to your rib cage expanding with breath? And can you feel your belly and your rib cage and your heart being filled with the breath? Big, full, cleansing breaths. 2 more of those. Feel yourself landing even more deeply. 1 more. And can you feel your body heavier to the earth? Can you feel yourself landing more deeply, falling in to yourself? And then we inhale, draw the left foot up towards the ceiling. So we're in half happy baby. So we're not trying to straighten that left leg. We keep the left knee bent. Left thigh reaches towards the floor, left sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. We breathe into the pelvis. Keep the back of the pelvis down to the mat as much as you're able. 1 more breath. And release. Inhale, draw the right foot up towards the ceiling, long through the spine. Notice if your chin is popped up towards the ceiling. See if you can stay long through the back of the neck. Right thigh is down towards the floor. Sole of the foot towards the ceiling. 1 more big cleansing breath. And release the right heel back down towards the buttocks. Inhale left. Exhale down. Inhale right. Exhale down. 1 more time each side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Release the feet. Knees come back together. Release the arms, shoulder height, T position. Hands are down to the floor. Actually, your palms can be up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to let the right knee lead the way. And then slowly that left knee will stack on top of the right. And then you can let your gaze be out over the left shoulder. Now, again, checking in, is this suitable for your hips and spine this morning? There's a lot of yoga in this virtual room of yours, so you can adjust as you need to. 1 more breath. Then we'll inhale, left knee leads the way. Exhale, knees to center. Inhale, left knee falls down towards the floor. Slowly, that right knee will catch up. Gaze is out over the right shoulder. Big, full breaths. With each exhale, letting yourself land more deeply in this, only this moment. That's all there is, my friends. 1 more time. Inhale, right knee comes to center. Exhale, left knee follows. Inhale, right knee drops back down to the floor. Left knee is going to stack. Now you can stay here and just play with the breath.
See if you can begin to create a little more space. If you like, you can straighten the left leg. Left toes can come up towards your right hand. Now don't get all kind of acrobatic about this. Don't hurt yourself in this. If this isn't available to you, we make room for that. And you breathe into the IT band, that outer edge of your left leg. Maybe you breathe into the sacral spine or the piriformis. But just feel the belly expanding and drawing back towards the spine as you exhale, squeezing out. So we really begin to give ourselves a nice self-massage through the internal organs. One more breath. If you straighten, we'll bend that left knee. Inhale, left knee to center. Exhale, right knee follows. Inhale, left knee drops down to the floor. Exhale, right knee follows. Gaze is out over the right shoulder. I'll do it for you. And then if you'd like, you can begin to straighten the right leg. Maybe the right toes come up towards or to your left fingertips. And you keep making adjustments so you can find the sweet spot of this moment, of this form, of this arrangement. Two more full cleansing breaths. One more. And bending the right knee. Inhale, right knee to center. Exhale, left knee follows. Adjust your spine. Feel yourself rooted and planted through the low back. You can bring your hands down to your belly. Keeping the knees together, I want you to feel your low back rooted down to the floor. And you begin to lower your feet towards the earth. And at the point at which your low back begins to lift, pause there. And just engage through the core. Stay relaxed through the chest and shoulders. Stay long through the back of the neck. And find your breath. And just find there's this little edge that we teeter-totter. Yeah, we teeter-totter on that all the time. Maybe not this edge of feet hovering above the floor. But just see if you can find that edge and just be willing to meet the edge, and the awkwardness, maybe quivering begins to happen. Maybe you don't feel like doing this, but you're willing to do it anyway. See if you're wearing this through your chest and shoulders. A few more cycles of breath. One more. Lay your arms down by your side, feet come down to the earth. Inhale, take the hips high. Roll the tips of your shoulder blades together, maybe clasping your hands underneath the back of the pelvis. Feel your thighs parallel to one another, sturdy and strong, rooted and planted as you take the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Now, if you've clasped your hands underneath you, that becomes a part of your foundation too. So your arms are actively pressing into the floor. Kind of hard to talk, I'm finding. But lengthen through the back of your neck. Breathe into the front body. Now, open your eyes and look up, and can you see the bellowing of your breath? Can you see the rib cage expand with life? And exhale, empty. Two more. Soften the arms, shoulder blades slide wide, slowly lay the spine back down to the earth. Turn your palms up, take the feet wide, knees rest against each other. And land in your creation. And can you feel your subtle body awaken? Can you feel that sense of aliveness that you can't see? None of your senses, your five senses, don't have access to this, but that sixth sense, that intuitive sense, that connection to something so much larger is aware of it. So we begin to find the seat within us. One more breath. Letting yourself roll over to one side, pressing yourself up. We're going to come up onto hands and knees. As you bring yourself up onto your hands and knees, spread the fingers wide. Make sure your knees are stacked up underneath your hips. Look through the whole of your legs and just notice that your feet are an extension of your lower legs, and press the tops of the feet into the mat. Now, can you press your knuckles into the mat and even just slightly grip the mat a little bit, which will take some tension off the heel of your palm and maybe off your wrists a little bit. As many of you know, we kind of, at least in my class, I try and invite us to find a neutral spine in our table form. This is a form we come into a lot, but often we're automatically in cow. So lengthening the tailbone, feel the front body reaching towards the back body. And then here we're just going to let the hips drop side to side. Knees are hip distance here. Let's just see how this feels. And then the next time you meet me over with your hips to the right, look over your left shoulder and down to your left foot. Inhale, we come through center. Exhale, we look down to our right foot. Lengthening through the side body, inhale. Exhale to the left. Inhale, right. One more time, each side. And we'll come back to center, walking the hands gently forward. Take this slowly, beginning to lay your heart down towards the floor. Hips stay high. Imagine that your armpits are going to reach to the floor. And breathe into the front body and feel it through the back body. A few more full breaths. Then one more. Bring one hand under that shoulder and then the other, and draw yourself up into a cat spine. Even come up onto your fingertips. Draw the belly button towards the back body. Shoulder blades slide wide. One more breath. And then we'll come back to our table. So we're going to make a circle through the pelvis. Actually, let's take our knees a little bit wider. Let's make this good and juicy. Take your hands a little bit further forward. And you're going to begin to make a big circle through the pelvis. You'll feel your cat and cow spine. But let the elbows, let this be juicy and good. Maybe you haven't moved this way in a while. And just let the head and the neck and the hands and the feet, let everything participate. Get into your side body, your back body. And then wherever you are, pause like a sculpture. And then go in the other direction. Now what's beautiful is nobody's watching, and so you can move in your own space. I mean, you always can, but this virtual class that we're having gives us this opportunity to have some more freedom possibly. Often we don't experience freedom by our own confines of our own mind and our own dialogues, our own internal stories. I feel a little vulnerable up here. Everybody's watching. Maybe not. Hopefully your eyes are closed. One more time around. And then draw your hands back a little bit. Knees come back into alignment. We inhale, take the chin high, tailbone high. Exhale. Tuck the tailbone, chin to the chest. Inhale. Let's speed this up a little bit just to warm things up. Exhale. Inhale. Heart comes forward. Exhale. 2 more. And drop the hips back towards the heels. Keep your knees in alignment with your hips. Stack your hands, bring your forehead down to your hands and just let it all go and feel your aliveness. Feel the sensations moving, feel life coursing through your body. And just notice what you are present to. A few more cycles of breath. Walking the hands forward towards the top of the mat. Reach, reach, reach. Just hands to the floor. Can you reach your fingertips even more? And breathe into the back body. Oh, we don't ever get to see our back bodies. We see its reflection, but we never actually get to see it. So feel your back body with your breath. One more time. And pulling yourself forward. We're going to come down to our forearms. Release through the wrists. Twinkle the fingers. Don't forget about your thumbs. And then we'll come down. We'll keep our forearms down. Clasp your hands. Let your elbows stack right underneath your shoulders. And curl your toes. So as you curl your toes, just feeling that sensation through the myofascia of the feet. Might be a little bit talkative. We'll take the hips back towards our heels. And just let that lengthening happen. If your heels are trying to escape one another, draw the inside of the heels towards one another and just keep yourself in alignment and active. One more breath. We'll pull the hips back forward. Find yourself sturdy on your elbows and forearms, and with that, we take the hips high. Walk your feet a little bit closer towards your arms. We do our best here. If this is too much for you this morning, please bring yourself back down. Keep pressing the elbows into the mat, taking the hips away from the shoulders. Feel that lengthening. Now, can you drop the crown of your head down towards the floor? If you have short upper arms, your head might land on the floor. That's okay. All of it's okay. One more breath. And inhale, high tippy toes. Exhale with control. Bring the knees down. Release the toes. Roll yourself up so that you're standing on your knees. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, arms float down, reaching, lengthening. Inhale, lift up. Now as you lift up, maintain this long spine that you just found and let this movement be through the shoulders and just your arms float down. Don't collapse through the spine. One more time. Inhale. We get really tall. We look up. We lift high. Lift the ribs. Exhale. Arms float down. Shoulders forward. Up, back, and down. Ooh, that feels good. Inhale up, back, and down. One more time. Shoulders forward. Up, back, and down. I've been really present to, gosh, I say some of these things in class all the time, but I've been really present in my own life, like how precious each moment is, how precious each movement is. And so I give thanks to this practice of yoga that has indoctrinated me, that I've become a disciple of. One more breath. So I always find it interesting when I'm on my knees that I don't have my feet to kind of stabilize me, my ankles to stabilize me. So I have a moment of thanks for my feet and ankles.
But as we stand here on our knees, you can begin to feel yourself. We're on this round sphere, supposedly, spinning out in the middle of space. And so just feel yourself, those little subtle movements that we're always going, that I know I'm not usually very present to. We're going to inhale, sweep the right arm up. Gaze is going to follow the right hand reaches back. Exhale down. Inhale, come up. Exhale back. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale. 1 more. And release. So feel that. Feel your creation. Feel that lopsidedness. Feel the difference between your right arm and your left arm. That is energy, my friends. Feel it pulling in your right hand, and maybe you feel it down in your thighs. We inhale, left arm up. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale back. 2 more times. And then we'll inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale. Let the shoulder blades slide down the back body. Can you pick up your pelvic floor, and in doing so, can you feel your tailbone kind of slide into a really, really neutral place? So depending on what's going on through your shoulders this morning, maybe some of us want to go a little bit wider. Maybe you want to soften in the elbows. You listen to your form, get to know it, really inhabit it. Begin to have a relationship with it. 1 more breath. And we're going to inhale, lengthen, and see if you can keep your hip points facing forward as you take your upper body to the left. Hip points face forward. Don't let that right hip come with you. You can bring your head over to the left. Breathe into that. You may begin to inhale to center. Exhale, hip points forward, we turn to the right. Now notice with our arms up how the temperature comes up in the body. Now, I don't have anything to do with mine. Do you have anything to do with yours? Are you counting and taking care of your breaths, your heart beating? So there's something living us, something coordinating all of this. Inhale to center. Exhale, arms float down. Let them clasp back behind you. Drop the hips back. Hands are at the back of the pelvis. Hips drop down. Crown of the head comes, or forehead comes to the floor. And as you lift the hips up off the heels, roll up onto the top of your head. And if it's available, take your arms up off the back body. Now look through the hole of your legs and see where your feet have gone. Bring those back into alignment. And if there's any movement that is suitable for you through your head and neck, arms and shoulders, you can begin to investigate that, but do it gently. There's nowhere to get, my friends. Isn't it amazing that we're in the situation? There's nowhere to go, so there's nowhere to get. It's all internal. All an internal journey right now. 1 more breath. And then let the arms float to the back body. Hips are going to drop down. Soften your elbows, and then just let your arms be really heavy by your side. Really, really heavy by your side. And just notice what is true for you here and now. What are you present to? Two more breaths. Beautiful. Let one hand come under that shoulder, the other hand under that shoulder. We're going to press ourselves up, lift the chin towards the ceiling. Exhale, lay the front body down to the thighs, forehead touches down. Inhale, press and lift the heart higher towards the sky.
Exhale, lengthen the front body. Can you walk your heart down your thighs? 2 more times. Inhale, we lift up, little bitty back bend. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Walk the hands forward to the top of the mat. Pull yourself forward just enough to curl your toes. If you have socks on, you're going to want to take those off and take the hips high. Downward facing dog. So it might be your first inversion of the day, of the week, and just allow yourself to be present to all of the sensations, rooted through the feet and through the hands, pressing the hips away from the shoulders. I invite you to bend into your right knee and just, let that be good through the left side. Investigate the whole left side in your downward facing dog. And then we'll straighten through the right, soften through the left. We do the same thing on the other side. Nice lengthening through the right side, curious. And then we'll come back to center. One more deep breath. We'll inhale high on the tippy toes, slowly let the knees come down. As the knees are about to touch, like we did before with our feet, just let the knees hover above the floor. An inch off the floor. Just an inch off the floor. Now, don't let your mind take you out here. I know this is a little more challenging, but let's just get some heat going, some Agni going in the body. Just hovering right above the floor, belly button reaching towards the back of the body. One more breath. And release. We're going to bring ourselves back up onto our knees. Maybe walk back on your mat a little bit. I'm going to do this gracefully. We're going to step the right foot forward. And I invite you to take it further than 90 degrees. So increase this angle. And then with your hands on top of your right knee, we're going to pulse forward and back, forward and back. You can curl your left toes. That might help you feel a little more stable. So just coming into the pelvis, into the groin, and especially into that left psoas, left hip flexors. 2 more times. And then we'll come forward and just meet your edge here. Just see what is appropriate for you in this bringing of the hips forward. Left toes, like I said, being curled might offer a little more stability. And I want you to feel yourself really rooted and planted through this right foot. So as you're here, you're like, oh gosh, breathe into it. Let your breath support you in this. And we'll bring the hands together in Anjali Mudra. So here's one edge. If you'd like to take it further, you can take your arms up and overhead. And breathe. Let the shoulder blades come down the back body. One more breath. Hands will come down. Keep the left toes curled as you draw the hips back. And we're going to straighten the right leg. Fingertips are on either side of your right leg. Draw the belly button towards the spine. We inhale long. Look your heart forward. Exhale, hinge down over the right leg. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, down. 2 more. So we investigate this. We hinge down, just breathe into that opening, lengthening kidney bladder through the back of the right leg. One more breath. And then we'll bring the hips forward, right foot comes back down. Release your left toes, let your left hand be under your left shoulder, and we inhale, sweep right arm up and overhead. Now you can bring your gaze towards the ceiling, towards the horizon or down towards the floor, listening to what's good for you. Relax. Let's twinkle through the right fingertips, through the wrists, through the palm. If this is hard or demanding on your shoulder, you can bring your right forearm to the back body and keep your right shoulder open like you're lifting the right chest towards the ceiling. One more breath. Right fingertips back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, right hand comes down. We're going to curl the left toes, lift the left knee, step the right foot back, downward facing dog, and walk your dog. Walk out your dog, just feel what has been released, feel the space that's being created. Maybe roll through the balls of the feet. One more breath. So we come to stillness in our downward facing dog. The stillness I refer to is stillness in our mind. The body's never still. But it all begins in the mind. One more breath. We inhale high, high, high on tippy toes. Exhale slowly. Knees are going to hover right above the floor. They're going to hover right above the floor. Few cycles of breath, belly button towards the back body, front body reaching towards the back body. One more breath. And release. Knees come down. Release the toes. Again, we bring ourselves up. So we're standing on our knees, shoulders stacked over hips. And we're going to gracefully step the left foot forward. Bring your hands on top of your left knee. Get yourself nice and sturdy. If you want to feel more stable, you can take your feet a little wider, your knee and your foot. And then we're going to pulse into the left knee. Coming into the right psoas, the right hip flexors. And maybe you notice that this side is more demanding or less talkative. Just noticing what's going on for you. Maybe you knew this. Maybe this is something new. 2 more times. You can curl your right toes, find a little more stability. And then meet me with your hips coming forward, finding your edge here, whatever that edge might be. We don't judge it. We left our critical mind outside. So we bring our hands to Anjali Mudra. We feel our sturdiness, our willingness, our surrender. Breathe into those sensations. Feel yourself sturdy through the left foot, so you can keep your hands here. If you'd like to go further, you can take the arms up towards the ceiling, hands up towards the ceiling. Just feel the groin, the pelvis dropping closer towards the earth. Shoulder blades slide down the back body. One more breath. Letting the hands come down to the floor. Keep the right toes curled. Hips drop back. Straighten the left leg. Left toes towards the ceiling. Hands come back with you. And we inhale. Look the heart forward as we lift up. Exhale. Hinge down. Inhale. Heart looks forward. Exhale down. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So investigate this, my friends. What happens if you take a deep breath in this? What do you become present to? Is there any micro movement that you want to make? One more breath. Then we'll walk the hands forward, hips come forward, left foot comes back down. Release the right toes. Right hand under right shoulder, left hand comes up towards the ceiling. Twinkle through the left hand. Make a fist, rotate through the wrist. Exhale that out. So, like I said, if you're, well, actually a couple things. You can bring your gaze up towards the ceiling, towards the horizon.
down to the floor. Just notice what feels good through your neck. If sometimes can be hard, and I see folks having a hard time, their shoulders not quite as available. This is really, really a great opening, is to bring the forearm to the back body. One more breath. Left fingertips up on an inhale. Exhale, left hand comes down. Curl the right toes, lift the right knee. We find ourselves in a lunge and we step ourselves back, downward facing dog. Walk your dog if that feels good. A little bit more, a few more cycles of breath. And then we'll inhale into a plank. If you need to bring your knees down, please do so. Exhale, bring one forearm down and then the other. Make sure your elbows are under your shoulders, and then bring the pubic bone down to the floor and release the toes. Heart looks forward. Flushing out the kidneys, the adrenals. Keep your pubic bone rooted down into the mat, and that helps you not collapse through the low back. You can feel your tailbone reaching towards your heels. If you want more sensation, you can draw the elbows towards the ribs. A few more breaths. One more. Lay yourself down. Hands come breast level, up through table, back into child. You can bring your toes together this time. Let your knees open wide. Lay the heart way down your mat. Chin or forehead comes to the floor. Breathe into your back body. Just be in this moment. Notice if you've wandered away, imagining some totally imagined future event, because we know nothing. Any past place that you go to, that doesn't really exist. So just be here. Be in the generosity, the fullness of this moment, and be in relation to your form. Be in relation to your breath. Fully inhabit this space with all that's there. The pretty and the not so pretty. The hard and the soft. The good and the bad. And as awareness, we don't have judgment. It's just our ego and our personality that judges out of an insecure place, a doubtful, worried place. One more breath. One hand under the front of that shoulder, then the other. Press yourself up. Let your knees come back into alignment. Hips are going to drop over to one side. And then I'm going to invite you to come into seated. Finding a seated arrangement that is suitable and good for you. And just any kind of micro movements that let you feel rooted and sturdy in your seat. Both the seat within and the seat of your physicality. And can you access the awareness that the energy is now more in the body so that the mind is indeed quieter, that there's more space? I invite you to let your right hand come to the floor, even walk it out a little bit. We're going to inhale the left arm up. Exhale, drop over to the right, but don't lose your left buttock cheek. Can you find a straight left arm? And just breathe into what gets revealed here. And you can bring your gaze up towards the ceiling, to the horizon, or down to the floor. And then can you drop your left arm back some and just feel your left chest lifting towards the ceiling. And now bring your gaze up towards the sky. And breathe. One more. Inhale the hand back to center. Exhale. Let your hands rest on your knees and just feel that. You might feel really lopsided. The left side is so alive and full. Can you feel that? Everything we need lies within us. We keep coming home to that truth. If it's once a day, once a week, just keep coming back to this recognition. One more breath. Some of y'all have maybe seen my license plate, Dwell Well. This is what I'm referring to as this right here. Let your left hand come down to the floor by your left hip. Walk it out a little bit. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, drop over to the right, over to the left, and just negotiate, kind of find that sweet spot through the head and neck, through the right shoulder. It's all connected. And so feel your right buttock cheek staying rooted and planted. The right arm is nice and straight. So maybe it doesn't drop over as far if you straighten it. There's nowhere to get. There's nowhere to get. That's really good news. We just have to be all that we are. You can bring your gaze up towards the ceiling, to the horizon, down to the floor. Keep breathing into that right side. One more breath. And then letting your right arm drop back, and you can feel your right chest lifting towards the ceiling. Gaze is towards this glorious sky. At least ours is glorious. Well, the sky's glorious everywhere. We can see it today. No clouds, just beautiful bright sunshine here in New England. One more breath. And we inhale back to center. Exhale. And just notice, can you sense that your spine is longer? Your breath is longer and deeper. Can you sit in your most regal arrangement, knowing that you've brought your best to your practice today? And in this seat of stillness, feel your aliveness. Can you feel your well-being? It's within you. Can you feel grace? Can you access gratitude and contentment? These are just as infectious as a virus. You get to choose. One more breath. So we're going to end class. I'm going to have you lay down in just a moment. I'm going to play something though. So while I'm facing you and while I am so deeply connected to you, I'm going to draw my hands together in Anjali Mudra. And I give thanks for your presence here. I give thanks that you were here and participated so generously for yourself and for me and for all of us. So can we feel our connection to all that is, that indeed we are in this together. This thing has been a leveling device. Doesn't matter how much money you have, who you sleep with, what color your skin is, or who you vote for. We are one living organism called life. And I'm so grateful to be living life with you. Namaste. So I invite you to come down onto your back body. Lay yourself down, get yourself surrounded by blankets, put some pillows underneath your knees. Any way that you give yourself this just yummy pause in it all, that you make time and space for your practice to be integrated, that you can sit as awareness in your Shavasana, witnessing the wisdom and the intelligence living you that kind of knits a new you. The you that showed up on the mat is not the you that leaves the mat. So as you get yourself nice and comfortable, laying yourself down, I'm going to play something for you.